So let's talk about something that's hitting a lot of people in commercial real estate right now. What to do when you're a multifamily owner and you're facing financial distress. The market's getting tight, debt's not where it should be, and the pressure is seriously building. So what's the game plan when you see those storm clouds gathering?
I want to start with this really powerful idea. Out on the plains, when a storm is brewing, all the animals can sense it. But two of them, the buffalo and the cow, have totally different ways of dealing with it. So the question for you is, which one are you? And this is what's so fascinating. They both get the same warning signs. The cow, well, it turns and runs away from the storm. Seems logical, right? But since the storm is moving in the same direction, the cow actually ends up running inside the storm, stuck in the misery for way longer. The buffalo, on the other hand, does something that seems crazy. It charges straight into the storm. It's got to be intense, for sure, but it gets through to the other side so much faster. And this is where it gets real for property owners. You can feel it coming. Maybe your debt service coverage is getting weaker, or those calls with your lender just feel tense. The big temptation is to be the cow, to just wait, avoid those tough conversations, and hope that somehow the market will just magically fix itself.
Okay, so what does this storm actually look like in the world of multifamily real estate? Well, it's almost never just one thing. It's a whole series of pressures that start to pile on top of each other, as you're about to see.
The storm is really all these things hitting at once. Maybe your loan is coming due, but none of the refi options make any sense. Or your floating rate debt has just exploded and your cash flow can't even keep up. On top of that, expenses are climbing faster than your revenue, and when you go to your investors for a capital call, you get pushback. All the while, the tone from your lender just keeps getting more and more tense. Any of that sound a little too familiar?
And, if you thought that was tough, just wait. If you're not in this alone, if you're in a syndication or a joint venture, all those pressures we just talked about, they get a whole lot more complicated. It's suddenly not just about you and the bank anymore.
All of a sudden, you're juggling these internal challenges. Who actually has the right to make the final call? What are you legally required to disclose to your investors? Who's on the hook for that loan guarantee? When partners aren't seeing eye to eye on the strategy, you're looking at serious internal fights, which makes it nearly impossible to navigate the actual storm.
So with all this pressure building up, what's your first proactive move? It's not a secret financial trick. It's a change in your mindset. It's deciding to stop being the cow and to become the buffalo. It's time to face this thing head on.
Here's the deal. The proactive owners, the buffaloes, they do two things right away. First, they get crystal clear on everything. That means grabbing all your loan docs, operating agreements, the financials, every email with your lender. You need the full, unvarnished picture. And second, you have to honestly, really honestly, test the business. It's time to stop hoping and start analyzing.
But what does that even mean, to test the business? Well, it really just boils down to asking yourself the hard questions. The ones you've probably been trying to avoid.
And you have to be brutally honest here. Can the property, as it is right now, actually handle a modified loan? Would bringing in new money just be a Band-Aid, or does it fix the real problem? Your answers here are going to point you to your strategy. Is it a workout, a recap, a sale? Answering these questions now gives you the power to negotiate from a position of strength, not desperation down the road.
All right, so once you've done that soul searching and you've got that clarity, a few main paths are going to open up for you. Let's walk through what those different options look like.
Path number 1, a workout or forbearance.
This is your go-to option when the property itself is actually pretty solid.
It's a good asset, but the current loan terms are what's breaking your back. The whole goal here is to get to the table with your lender and negotiate new terms that actually work.
Next up is recapitalization. Now this one's different. It's not about the loan, it's about the ownership structure. You go down this path when you need to bring in fresh cash, get partners who have different goals back on the same page, or maybe even rewrite the rules on how decisions get made to save the asset.
Then there's the sale. Sometimes the smartest play isn't to hold on tighter, but to let go. If you've run the numbers and realized that holding on is just going to bleed more and more value, then a planned, orderly exit is the best way to protect what you've got left.
Okay, now things are getting a bit more serious. A deed in lieu of foreclosure, or even receivership. Think of this as a structured handoff. You choose this when the main goal is just to stop the bleeding and transition ownership in a controlled way before any more value is lost. And finally, we have the path of last resort, litigation or bankruptcy. This is pretty much where you land when all the talking has failed and the people involved are just in total conflict. It's definitely the toughest road, but sometimes it's the only one left.
Look, picking between these paths and then actually getting through them successfully is incredibly complex. You wouldn't try to climb a mountain in a blizzard without a guide, and this is absolutely no different. This is where having the right legal and strategic partner is just essential, and we can use a team like Kelly Clark as a great example of what that support looks like.
And this shows you what that kind of support really looks like in practice. It's a coordinated game plan. A good legal partner, they're going to dig through your loan documents to find your points of leverage. They'll handle the negotiations for you, structure those complicated recapitalizations, and, this is huge, advise you on how to handle investor communications and partner disputes. They help you manage the whole process, no matter which path you end up taking.
And this quote right here, it just nails the whole philosophy. It's not just about surviving. It's about moving through the storm with an actual plan, saving as much value as you possibly can, and getting yourself ready for the opportunities that always pop up after things calm down.
So let's bring this all back home. The big lesson here isn't that the storm is going to be easy. It's that facing it head-on and early is what shortens the pain and gives you a much, much better shot at a good outcome.
Don't wait around for the storm to run you over. Be the buffalo.
So look, if any of this is sounding a little too familiar, if you can see those storm clouds on your own horizon, the time to act is right now. You can get a strategic review of your own situation by reaching out to the team at Kelly Clark. Their website is kellyclarklaw.com, and that number to schedule a consultation is right there on your screen, 972-253-4440.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Are you going to be the cow or are you going to be the buffalo? Are you ready to face your storm? Thanks for watching.